They have threatened me. The people they sent here with the goons, it was meant to intimidate me, and they threatened me, and I told them that it's very simple. They just kill me. I'll be buried in Rarieda.
The former Cabinet Secretary Raphael Tuju has been reported missing, with his family and lawyer confirming that a formal missing person report was filed on Sunday, March 22nd. His phone is switched off, his vehicle was found abandoned, and his last known movement raised more questions than answers. The disappearance of the former Cabinet Secretary Raphael Tuju has triggered concern among his family, legal team, and the public. According to his lawyer, Grado Victor Mabachi, and his son Mano Tuju, efforts to reach him have failed, and his mobile phone remains unreachable. His car was discovered abandoned along Miotoni Lane in Karen, Nairobi, a quiet high-end residential area now at the center of a developing story.
So I don't know how much time they themselves have to own this land, but I'm not going to accept intimidation.
The family says that Tuju left home on Saturday, March 21st. He was reportedly heading for a scheduled media interview at Ramogi, but he never returned. Since then, there's been no confirmed contact, no verified sighting, no communication. The silence has deepened anxiety, especially given the events leading up to his disappearance. Just days earlier, tensions had erupted at one of the Tuju's key properties in Karen. The property located at Dari Business Park became the scene of a dramatic confrontation involving auctioneers, security personnel, and also a group of unidentified individuals. The incident, which occurred on the night of Wednesday, March 11th, has since raised serious concerns. Footage from the scene shows Tuju confronting individuals he says had no legal authority to be there. He is seen demanding that they vacate the premises, insisting on respect for his space and staff. The situation escalated quickly, and before the confrontation, a group of youth riding motorbikes had reportedly gathered at the main gate, and access to the property was restricted. Tensions rose as the group locked entry and exit points.
Why are you here? And they're telling me, we were just told to come, but we were told to await orders.
Tuju later expressed surprise at the presence of the individuals. He stated that they claimed to represent new owners of the property following what they described as a completed auction. But Tuju disputed that claim. He maintained that ownership of the property remains under active legal contest in court. At the center of the dispute is a long-running debt case involving more than 1.9 billion Kenyan shilling, a financial burden that has been the subject of multiple court rulings over more than a decade now. On March 9th, the High Court cleared the way for the auction of the current property. The decision marked a significant turning point in the case. However, Tuju openly rejected the ruling. He insisted that he had the constitutional right to appeal. He also expressed concern over what he described as pressure to settle the debt before being allowed to proceed with an appeal. Following the ruling, Tuju made it clear that he could not vacate the property voluntarily. He argued that any attempt to remove him by force would amount to intimidation, especially when legal process was still ongoing. This position placed him in direct conflict with those seeking to enforce the court's decision. The dispute itself dates back several years, and in 2024, Tuju had moved to court in an attempt to stop the auction of not only the current property, but also another asset located along Gong Road. But earlier judgments had gone against him. In 2023, the Supreme Court dismissed his appeal, ruling that it had not been sufficiently proven, and the legal setbacks compounded an already complex financial situation. Tuju had secured a multi-million-dollar loan from the East African Development Bank using his properties as collateral. The loan was intended to finance the construction of luxury apartments in Nairobi's current suburb, but the loan went into default. The bank then moved to recover the debt. A ruling from London court found Tuju liable for both the principal amount and accumulated interest, and that ruling was later upheld in the Kenya by Justice Wilfrida Okwany, who confirmed that all legal conditions had been met for enforcement. The consequences were immediate. Tuju lost control over the accounts of his company, and that is Dairy Limited. The accounts were frozen, effectively paralyzing business operations, and his legal team argued that the move placed the company in difficult position. They told the court that Dairy Limited operates as a cashless business and relies entirely on bank accounts to function. With the account frozen, the company could not meet its financial obligations. They included payments to suppliers and salaries for over 100 employees. The lawyers urged the court to intervene, warning that the business was being held in a state of financial paralysis, but opposition counsel disputed those claims. They argued that the freezing of the accounts followed proper procedure and was not linked to any court delays. They also raised the concerns about incomplete disclosure of financial information by the company. Another point of contention involved the role of Tuju's family, with Tuju reportedly unwell at the time. It was argued that his children, who were directors in the company, had a responsibility to provide full financial details. These legal battles, financial pressures, and property disputes formed the backdrop to the events of March. They also provide context to the growing concern over his sudden disappearance. Adding to the complexity in Tuju's recent medical history, earlier in February, he was involved in a road accident along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway. The accident required medical attention, and he was later flown to the United Kingdom for treatment. While details of his recovery remained limited, the incident raised the questions about his physical condition in the weeks leading up to his disappearance. Now, with his whereabouts unknown, those concerns have intensified. Authorities have not yet released an official statement detailing the next steps in the investigations, but the filing of missing person report marks the beginning of what could become a broader inquiry. Family members are urging anyone with information to come forward. They are seeking answers, they are seeking clarity, and above all, they are also seeking his safe return. For now, the case remains open. A high-profile figure, a complex legal battle, and a disappearance that has left more questions than answers. As the search continues, the focus remains on one urgent question: where is Raphael Tuju, and what happened in the hours before he vanished? That's all for today from Kenya Lens Media. Kindly, if you are new here, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel as a way of supporting us and also helping this platform grow.